The discovery and recovery. I found this legend buried deep in the jungle, reclaimed by nature. It looked like a total loss, just a rusted shell sinking into the swamp. But for $400, I couldn't say no. Getting it out was a war. The mud wasn't letting go without a fight, and the tires were practically disintegrating as we dragged it onto the flatbed. She was heavy, broken, and full of rot. Teardown and inspection. Back at the shop, the real damage became obvious. The axles were seized, the suspension was caked in decades of grime, and the rims were so corroded they were crumbling apart. I had to strip this thing down to the bare bones. Every bolt fought me. I had to break down the hubs and drop the entire suspension just to see what was salvageable. Sandblasting the skeleton. There was no saving the surface without going heavy duty. I took the frame and the heavy axles to the sandblaster. It took hours to blast away the layers of rust and solidified mud, but underneath all that decay, the steel bones of the beast were still intact. Engine and metal surgery. We pulled the old V8. It was junk. Then came the bodywork, which was the hardest part. The fenders and rockers looked like Swiss cheese. I had to cut out the cancer, large sections of rusted out metal, and weld in fresh steel patches. We also fabricated a custom internal roll cage to stiffen the cab, because this truck is going to take some serious abuse. Body prep and smoothing. Once the structural welding was done, it was time for aesthetics. I used filler to smooth out the body lines and sanded it down until my arms were numb. We chemically treated the remaining pits to stop the rust from coming back, then hit the whole body with a high-build primer to get a uniform surface. The iconic paint. Now for the satisfying part. I sprayed the chassis and suspension components in that deep electric blue. Then we moved to the body. It wouldn't be a Bigfoot without that classic metallic blue finish. Watching that color lay down over the fresh primer, that's when I knew we had a winner. Final assembly and interior. Time to put the puzzle back together. We dropped in a rebuilt chrome-dressed V8, mated the body back to the lifted frame. Inside, I installed sound deadening, new carpet, a custom dashboard with fresh gauges, and a racing seat. We rewired the whole truck from scratch to ensure she starts every time. The reveal. She's alive. The idle is smooth, the lights work, and she looks showroom fresh. Taking it out for the first drive, it's hard to believe this is the same pile of scrap we dragged out of the mud. From a $400 abandoned wreck to a monster truck legend, restored.